we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as New York deals with its worsening coronavirus outbreak in real time, terrified 911 operators find themselves having to make life or death decisions on a whim, on a daily basis. The Mind Unleashed reports that some patients are being left behind in their homes as the healthcare system becomes overwhelmed with calls relating to the virus. The 911 system that generally fields about 4,000 calls per day was swamped with over 7,000 calls last Thursday. It's a volume of calls that the city has not seen since September 11, 2001. The volume has put emergency medical personnel in the position of having to determine which cases should receive time-consuming medical measures like CPR, and which cases are too far gone. And many of the workers are doing it without the proper protection. Meanwhile, New York remains on a trajectory to pass Wuhan in terms of the severity of its outbreak, assuming you take China's numbers at face value. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. With the coronavirus pandemic causing an economic crisis for households across the nation, and April 1st rent payments coming due, the call for a temporary cancellation of rent has surged. The Mind Unleashed cites the example of Bowman Property Management, which manages properties in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Charlotte Observer obtained a copy of a letter the company sent to tenants, noting the possible hardship during this season in the form of medical or financial that tenants may have experienced. But the letter said, quote, "We want to remind you that the terms of the lease are in effect in good times and bad, and our expectation is that rent will be paid on time with no questions asked," end quote. Renters can also expect to face late fees and possible eviction as consequences, according to the letter. Lawmakers passed a corporate-friendly economic stimulus package last week to help mitigate the economic impacts of the COVID-19 crisis, but renters could still be in dire straits. 3% of restaurants have already permanently closed due to the coronavirus crisis, according to research from the National Restaurant Association. 44% of operators have temporarily closed their restaurants, and 11% anticipate they will permanently close within 30 days. Activist Post reports restaurant sales dropped 47% across the United States from March 1st to March 22nd, and 54% of operators now offer off-premise services only, according to an NRA survey of more than 4,000 restaurant operators. 70% of restaurants surveyed have had to lay off employees and reduce workers' hours. And about half of restaurants expect further layoffs and hourly reductions in the next 30 days. More than 60% of restaurants have had to reduce their operating hours. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A report by Stanford University researchers released Thursday found that Americans spend 90% of their waking hours staring at glowing rectangles. Researchers identified more than 30 varieties of iridescent rectangles, ranging from personal and work rectangles to rectangles that heat food and those that can fit right in one's pocket.
From the moment Americans wake up, they are captivated by these bright, pulsing rectangles. In fact, if you look at the data, it's hard to find a single minute when the public isn't captivated by these, I'm sorry, where were we?
In local news, a run-over squirrel is remembered as frantic and indecisive. And in other news, a trail of rose petals leads a wife to a sink full of dishes. Prince Fielder reports to spring training exactly the right amount overweight, and a local yard sale reeks of divorce. If you don't hear the sound of my voice the same time next week, alert my family and then visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Yes, this is Free Talk Live, where you can take control of the airwaves and talk about, well, anything you want, really. Our toll-free number here, of course, is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We'll go to your calls and your thoughts in just a minute. But joining me in the studio tonight, it's...
Nobody.
And Ian.
And I am your host, the Captain. We just got done talking a bit about nobody in his position on governorship, but we were also talking about Sweden. But Ian, you said you had an update that it sounds like they've now sort of backed off, and they're saying that...
backed off would not be the right word. Cranking up, I would say, the requirements. Because we were discussing how Sweden is sort of not to the same level of their surrounding neighbors.
As of 2 days ago, they were all, no, we're not going to shutter any businesses or limit gatherings. But in the 2 days since this article came out, apparently that's changed.
That's still, we got to give credit where credit is due there, though. That's still better than New Hampshire. It's better than probably any state in the United States, although I don't know. Are there any states that haven't reacted yet?
I don't know. That's what I've been wondering myself. I know that one of our chatters in the Discord, her name is Abby Normal. She lives in, I believe, Idaho. And
Comes from Abby Normal.
I think she said the bars are still open there, if I recall correctly. That was a few days ago, so I don't know what the current status is.
There was a meme rolling around the internet that says... I'm not going to worry until the bars in Wisconsin close. Well, I got news for you guys. It's time to start worrying.
The bars have closed.
I contacted somebody that I know in Wisconsin, and specifically to ask, hey, have they closed the bars? Because I'm trying to gauge just how bad the thing is. And they were like, yeah, they actually did. So you can, like everywhere else, you can get them to deliver beer now that was never legal before. That kind of a thing. Or you can drive up and pick up your order, but you can't actually go to a bar and socialize with people in the state of Wisconsin, the drunkest state by many a measure in the United States.
Well, if you're hearing this and you're in a state where they haven't limited your rights in any way as a result of this, which means they may have made recommendations, but they haven't given them the force of law, then send an email to research@electnobody.com, and because I'd like to know about it.
Call in, because I'd really
like
to know about it. Or
call in and tell us about it. But if you're shy about calling in, send me an email. I'll read it on the air.
Well, speaking of calling,
Did you want me to answer the question?
Please. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So from the Associated Press, the story here was published yesterday. Standing at bars has been banned in Sweden, but restaurant customers can still be served at tables instead of having to take food to go. High schools and universities are closed, but preschools and primary schools are still running classes in person. And further, according to the story here, Prime Minister Stefan Löfven, warning of many tough weeks and months ahead, announced Friday that as of yesterday, gatherings would be limited to 50 people instead of 500.
Wow, that is certainly a change.
Yeah,
standing, so you can still go and sit down. You just
not
can't.
Clear. That's not clear.
Yeah, that's.
No, it sounded like it was clear that was the case. That restaurant patrons could still be served alcohol.
That's correct. But whether or not you could sit at a bar is another question.
But that's the thing is, they don't want people sitting at the bar.
Well, they said no standing at bars. I don't know if that includes sitting as well.
Maybe they just took away like every other bar stool. Right, so that so that there's more space.
Well, certainly it would make a difference, and the restaurants you want operating are the Japanese restaurants where they have the paper segregated booth in which you eat, because then you're only exposed to your own party, and if you live with them, you've already got
Yeah.
whatever they've got.
Well, and we know that the most affected are those who are either employees that find themselves suddenly unemployed or those who own their own small businesses. And we have a caller on the line.
I could be
Jason.
wrong on that, actually. I can think of a couple reasons that might be a stupid thing to do. So forget I said that.
Okay. We have a caller on the line. His name is Jason in Arizona. It says he owns his own business. Jason, you're on Free Talk Live.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. What's
All
on your
right.
mind?
You guys were asking about, quarantine being locked up and rights being taken away.
Yep.
And we are going to be mandated tomorrow at 5:00 in Bullhead City, Arizona,
Uh-huh.
to basically self-quarantine. My concern is there is a lack of knowledge on what is exactly going on in our area. I mean, Nevada shut down, which is directly across the river,
Okay.
and they've been vacated for a couple of weeks. But I also have my own company, which I don't know whether I should keep open or not because it's a taxi service, but we also do delivery. So that way, if you don't want to leave your house, you don't have to.
I'd say you better keep that one open.
Yeah, I mean, well, and have you been deemed essential? This is one of
That's
those,
gotta be an
one of those
essential
phrases
service.
That is what I could argue, no problems, just for the simple fact if everybody else is quarantined, then that will free my people up to go ahead and bring you whatever you need.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that's an
So-
essential service. Delivery in this situation, you've got to be there.
Okay. And then my other thing is the whole insurance thing, because everybody's mandatory to have insurance. I'm freaking out because I got $5,000 worth of insurance and no business right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wow. And you still have to pay that bill.
Exactly. So, I mean, at what point is this going to come and hit my credit hard or have my house taken from me or a few of my cars? That's
Yeah.
my chief concern is because there's no exactness to this. It's, hey, we're going to be open by Easter, then we're going to be open by the end of the month. Now we're self-quarantined till the end of April. And I'm just kind of looking around and going, well, what the hell's next? I mean,
Yeah, I feel for you, brother. I have no idea what the answers to your questions are, unfortunately. I really don't even have any good suggestions for
Well,
you.
I mean,
because-
look, the only way that you're going to be able to stay in business is to stay, keep doing business,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, because there's a lot of people that are going to be going under because of this.
if you can
Yeah.
adapt your
That-
business to the environment in some way that nobody else has thought of, maybe innovate a little bit to try and, get,
that's what we're doing is trying to innovate, trying to get out to the older people to let them know that our services are there for them. So that way they don't have to worry about anything.
Mhm.
My
But like,
oh,
go ahead.
Sorry. My guess is that it won't be as bad as people think it is. Think it will be on the other side of this, and the reason is because
When you say it, do you mean the virus or the economic devastation from the response to
the
it?
economy.
Okay.
I think the economy will recover.
It's a catch-22. It's
Well,
a catch-22. Do I do everything to save my ass, or do I go out and just shut down and then hope it blows over? And that's what
Yeah.
we're not being told because it goes every day is different, which that's fine because if there's no understanding of what's going on, then
Well,
just say, shit,
you
I
know
don't
how bankruptcy works, right?
Yeah, God, no,
Okay.
not at all. But
Well-
I think I'm going to learn.
Well, here's my point there. Your creditors have no reason to pursue a claim that they know you can't pay and put you out of business and lose a customer. And now they'll do that when times are good because they're getting more customers all the time. But
Yeah.
I don't expect creditors to be especially aggressive after this whole thing. So and if your business isn't forced into bankruptcy, then you can find a way to recover.
Now, I do have one question because I don't have TV. All I have is radio and Facebook. You never know if it's true or not. So I do have one absolute question: is at the end of this, are we going to be made whole again, or are we just going to, subside and call it a day?
Who could possibly
will-
make you whole?
We will not be made whole, but they will be sure to tax you to make the corporations whole.
That is a matter of fact. Jason, thank you so much for the
luck
call
out
tonight.
there.
Good luck. I wish you the best. And
Yeah, they're not going to roll the taxes back. That's for sure. That ain't happening.
I wonder if you could start an insurance company to protect you against government.
Nope, that's
illegal.
prohibited. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Do it, Agaris.
Well, so much for that. 855.
You could do it as a coin.
450 free. 855-450-3733. We've got more of your calls coming up.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
This is novelist Tom Robbins. When my mother was diagnosed with glaucoma, her conservative Virginia physician told her there was only one treatment that might ease her pain and save her eyesight. That treatment was medical marijuana, which he could not prescribe. I offered to get her some and teach her how to use it effectively, but my father objected because marijuana was against the law. So my mother, who loved to read and walk in nature, was condemned to grow cruelly, unnecessarily blind. Tragedies like this happen all the time, but they don't have to keep happening. To learn more about medical marijuana, call the Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or visit them on the web at mpp.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Welcome back to Free Talk Live, the live Monday night edition, where you can take control of the airwaves by giving us a call. The number, of course, is toll-free, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. In the studio tonight, it's myself, the captain.
And Nobody, future author of Nobody Coin.
And Ian.
And we are here to take your calls and thoughts. But first, I wanted to tell you that the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. With the new Divvy, or when the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at DivvyProject.org. That's DivvyProject.org. Let's get right back into your calls and your thoughts tonight. We have Dan calling from Portland, Maine. Looks like he's listening on WLOB. Dan, what's on your mind tonight?
I'd like to advocate two ways to deal with COVID-19. I think we could end this in 24 hours with these two techniques. In every viral disease I have had, when I've tried to sweat it out, I have cured the disease in less than a few hours. This is what the body tries to do when it creates a fever. It also causes sweating, and the virus is coming out with the sweat. You can feel the burn and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is not medical advice. This person may not be a doctor. You may want to question everything that you hear.
Right.
You may want to question everything you hear from your doctor, too.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Exactly. Now,
but you're saying you believe that sweating can get rid of a virus?
I know
that is the reason the body forms a fever. It's trying to kill the virus.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it is a reaction. Most viruses can't stand high temperatures.
Yes. Now, don't dice me up because I've got some important things to say here. In addition to sweating, the fever is also diluting a liquid that surrounds the virus, and the liquid is preventing the immune system from attacking the virus. This is why in the summer the flu goes away, because the higher temperature makes the viscous fluid more attackable by the immune system.
So basically global warming could also solve this problem.
Global warming could eventually solve the problem of viruses entirely.
Yes, but there's another point here, vitamin C. You probably don't know, as most people, or at least in your audience, don't know, that vitamin C is made in most large animals. Humans and guinea pigs are two of the very few large animal species that do not make vitamin C. Okay. And people shy away from vitamin C because they take the acid form of it and it burns them. But vitamin C is crucial for the synthesis of interferon, a potent antiviral. That's why vitamin C can greatly ameliorate symptoms of viral diseases.
That is very, very interesting. Dan, how did you learn so much about this?
Well, I'm a physicist, and I read Linus Pauling's Vitamin C in the Common Cold. This fact I just gave you about large animals is in there. It's also in a book by Lubert Schreier, Biochemistry. As a physicist, people don't realize physics is the basis of everything. Once you get a PhD in physics, you can attack any subject. And I'm a humanitarian. I believe we have to help each other if humanity is to flourish. So I'm always looking for information like that.
Well, you're right there. When I was a computer science student, they required that all of the computer science majors take actually 2 calculus-based physics classes, and Excellent. It was because it taught you to solve problems.
Exactly.
So, nothing I say is medical advice. I've had really good luck taking vitamin C, and I actually heard about vitamin C being a very good thing. Didn't Einstein talk about that?
I actually haven't heard that, but I want to make one more.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I heard it was a physicist, and it turned out and thought it was Einstein. I don't know.
Yeah, one other thing about vitamin C, very important, is that not only does it's required for the synthesis of interferon, but also for the synthesis of collagen, the primary structural protein for the body and the primary repair protein for the body, and thus vitamin C is the primary repair vitamin. And you can use it topically, too. I have used it on my teeth.
Really?
I have not had dental work for 20 years because I floss with it. I apply it with my finger to weak areas. It strengthens the teeth and the gum. It will.
What specifically are you applying? Like, can I go out and buy a product?
Yes, I'm sorry. I should have said that. I use non-acid vitamin C powder. I use Solar Rays. It's called buffered also. Buffered vitamin C powder with fragrance-free body lotion. The body lotion adds additional nutrients. It dilutes the crystals of the vitamin C powder, and it blocks oxygen from messing things up. I have also used it for keeping... I was wrecking my fingers playing guitar. I had mutilated my fingers. And I said, all right, vitamin C has repair properties. I'll try. This is the first time I tried it topically. And I applied it to my fingers with the body lotion. Immediately took away the pain, immediately healed, very quickly healed the fingers. I never had problems playing guitar with my fingers being mutilated and mangled.
Well, that is fantastic. And Dan, thank you for the call tonight. What a wealth of information that guy was. I can identify with the guitar playing part, of course, as a guitar player. I have not tried to use vitamin C to do anything to sort of cure my fingers. I built up calluses over the course of time. When you play so frequently, you just kind of do that, and you don't really want those to go away after a time. But that guy certainly schooled me. What about you?
Yeah, well, it was good information. I can't know if any of it was accurate, but what he said, it aligned with my own experience and preconceptions. I take vitamin C whenever I'm coming down with a cold if I have it, and it seems to work very well for me. But it could. You never know why you got better. You know what you did, but you never know if that's the reason you got better or when you did. That's all what Bastiat called the unknown or the unseen.
Well, and I keep, you
see the results of what you did, but you don't see the results of the paths you didn't take.
Right. As I scour the news and the media for updates on things like the coronavirus, I do keep repeatedly seeing folks mentioning vitamin C as a treatment or a method, but I've never seen anything conclusive or anything that says yes, this does work. I've just seen things that suggest that it might be a method. So it'll be interesting to see if anything develops out of that. 855-450-FREE, like freedom. How are you getting along?
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to SaveItPurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Monday night edition. You are in the right place. You have tuned in. You are listening. You've got your ears on, as they used to say in the first internet, which
CB radio.
CB radio, that's right. Very good. Our toll-free number here, of course, is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's myself, the captain.
Nobody.
It's Ian.
And we are going to jump right back into your calls and your thoughts. We have Derek calling from Jacksonville. Derek, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys. How you doing tonight?
Good, thanks.
So I did call in the other night, and since nobody's here tonight, and he was talking about his protest, I figured it would be the perfect time to bring this up.
Nobody is not here, so he is here.
Indeed.
There we
and
go.
Nobody cares what you have to say.
Well, I'm glad. That's probably the best thing I've heard all day. So, with your protest, you know there will be a police presence. Just
maybe
make sure that you enforce them to practice social distancing from you.
I'm not going to force anybody to do anything, but I will suggest it strongly to them because it's good public relations as well as probably wise anyway.
It is probably the smart choice, and especially since the protesters will all be practicing social distancing, I'm sure.
And I might show up in a hazmat suit just because it's funny.
I'm going to be offering free hugs to anyone that wants
free
them.
hugs?
Yep.
Wow.
And I won't stop you.
One more point. I live about 5 minutes from the Georgia border off of 95 in Florida here, and they're stopping all the cars. It's not
Everybody.
license plate.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're
it's
not just
everybody.
looking
And,
for New York. They're stopping absolutely everyone.
No, yep. They're asking you what your plans are in Florida.
They
how
did
long you
describe it as a
plan on being-
checkpoint, so I mean, I'm not really surprised. Did you have to go through one, Derek?
I did. I go up to Camden to get some of my medication,
Uh-huh.
and I'm coming back, and I got pulled over and asked, why I was entering Florida, even though I do have Florida plates. Asked, I told them I live here, and they said, "Where have you been? How long have you been out of the state?" So yeah, it's getting pretty intrusive.
So wait, you live in Georgia, but you were coming back?
No, I
and
live
got
in
stopped?
Jacksonville.
Oh, you live in
I live
Jacksonville.
in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
And Jacksonville, where I live by the airport, we're about 10 minutes from the Georgia-Florida line.
So you got
And
pulled
I'm about-
over even though you had a Florida plate.
Yeah. Well, you're not even getting pulled over. You don't have a chance. There's just a line of traffic.
Right.
And yeah, so it's every car.
And what are the
Trucks,
questions that
passing
they're
by.
asking? What are they asking you?
So I was asked if, obviously I live in Florida, and they asked how long I'd been out of the state, where I traveled to, and if I was leaving, how long I planned on being in Florida for again. So,
And what do you think would have happened if you didn't answer any of their questions? Because you don't have to talk to the police.
No, I do not have to talk to police, and it was, for me, my car probably smelled like something they'd be interested in. But, I was a little nervous, and I just said, hey, I live in Florida. I've been gone for about 30 minutes. I don't know what they would have done because obviously things can't be enforced without the threat of violence. So,
Did you consider recording
you don't-
video of the interaction?
I did not. Weird thing, my charger cord is kind of crappy, so it disconnects every time my phone moves if I don't keep it in like one place.
Yeah. See, I
Try to
recommend
listen
folks
to
get
you guys
a
live,
dash
so.
cam. Then you don't have to deal with that sort of stuff. It's
I
there
will
all the
look into
time.
that.
Yeah, I want to get
so
it. Not
heads
only
up
do
for
I.
anyone trying to drive to Florida, it's not just your plates; it's anybody. So.
All right. Well, thanks for the call tonight, Derek. We appreciate it. So it sounds like they're pulling everybody over, not just out of state
Yeah,
plates.
and Rhode Island apparently as well.
My plan for the Nobody Mobile when I create it is to have it outfitted not just with a dash cam, but also with microphones and a sign saying there are microphones so that we can hear what the good officer has to say.
Do we call it the Pope Mobile?
Well, I would call it the Nobody Mobile, or the Pope Mobile, or Road Pirate
the
One.
No-Po Mobile?
Yeah.
The No-Po Mobile?
Well, the other thing is my plan is the paint job I've got in mind, and I've finally got some money coming into the campaign, so it's becoming realistic I'll be able to do this. If you want to help any of these things happening, if you want to see the show, you can make a donation at electnobody.com/gifts. But my plan is to repaint it as you know, it's a retired police cruiser. So I want to repaint it more like the black and white police cruiser, and then I intend to put logos on the doors with a Jolly Roger that says Road Pirate. And so I
Except
may
you're
well,
not.
if
That's
I
pretty
become
good.
governor, it will be Road Pirate 1.
There you go.
All right. Continuing on as we do here at Free Talk Live with your calls and your thoughts. We have Andrew, who's in Denver, Colorado, listening on TuneIn. Andrew, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey guys, I had a couple of questions for you guys, not really relating to everything that's going on, but
Sure.
I've recently got into some of these ideas that you guys are talking about, and I was wondering if you guys could give me like a little bit more of a clear definition, the difference between voluntarism, ANCAP, and libertarian.
AMCAP
'Cause I'm a
stands
little
for
confused.
Anarcho-capitalist.
Right.
That's to me two of the worst words you could possibly have in the English language sandwiched together. Voluntarist is someone who believes that all human interaction should be voluntary, and libertarian is a fairly big tent word that can encompass people who are for smaller government all the way through an anarchist or a voluntarist who would be completely against coercive government. That's my summary for you.
So basically, a voluntarist believes that whatever you are, if you're an ANCAP, an ANCOM, a mutualist, whatever you are, if you don't violate the rights of another, you're cool with us.
Yep.
As long as it's voluntary, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess that clarifies things a little bit. I guess my other question was, I was wondering if you guys had any books that you would recommend to kind of clarify some of these and make some of these points easier to explain to other people.
I like The Machinery of Freedom, anything by Lysander Spooner.
I like Healing Our World by Dr. Mary Ruwart.
Mary Ruwart's great. Anything by Mary is great.
Healing Our World.
I would recommend. I would recommend a great many books on economics. I would start with maybe Economics in One Lesson for a very short read. Capitalism and Freedom by Nobel Prize winner Milton Friedman. Economics for Real People is an excellent one. And if you want to get really historic, read The Wealth of Nations. Not everything is right in there because he uses the labor theory of value, and that's wrong, but it's still an excellent work. And it's nice to read something that's that is influenced not by the left-right politics of our day, but by the politics of a completely different era. So I'm not hearing Republican propaganda or Democratic propaganda. I'm hearing the way somebody in a completely different context viewed it.
And Andrew, I just want to give you one more book that I've read that I like is Larkin Rose, The Most Dangerous Superstition. It talks about the government, and it gives a lot of analogies, really, but the way he wrote the book is just, it really stands out. It's easy to read, particularly for somebody who's not familiar with all the different terminology that gets thrown around, particularly on this show, and definitions and that kind of thing. He really writes it in a way that's easy to read, easy to explain. So,
okay, and that was The Most Dangerous what?
Superstition.
Superstition. Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate that list.
Sure. Thanks for the call tonight, Andrew.
And in the short form, the most dangerous superstition is a superstitious belief that your government loves you and wants you to be happy. Because it's not true.
Or that it's
disproven
anything,
by everything they do.
Or that it's anything but an illusion.
Gang of criminals is what they are.
Because all there are is people. That's it. Everything else is a mental construct in your mind when it comes to the organization known as government. So 855-450-FREE. We'll have more of your calls and your thoughts coming up.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have two convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Attention, fellow Americans. We are now at an all-time high risk of illnesses due to pathogens and viruses. So it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. Do it with new nanocolloidal silver from Americare. Using a patented process with tiny silver particles 1/100th the size of a red blood cell that allows for maximum absorption, Americare's nanocolloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it inhibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever at around $1 a day. But supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5012. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Yes, it is Free Talk Live, the talk radio show that you can take control of. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That is 855-450-3733. In the studio tonight,
nobody.
It's Ian.
And I am your host, the Reverend Captain Kickass. And have you heard of Intercoin? Intercoin is working to make crypto go mainstream. We actually mentioned Intercoin a little earlier in the show tonight.
It's true.
It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. That's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you missed your opportunity to...
And one thing that I really want to do when they get going is start an election, and basically it would be an issue election, and the issue would be, I want my government to cease all hostile activities against other nations, and see how many people in the world we can get to vote for that. I'll bet it would be most of them.
I like the idea. I look forward to seeing more of that. If you missed your opportunity to get in on Bitcoin from the start, then here is your chance to join what may be the next revolution in money. Check out intercoin.org, and if you like what you see, pick up some of those coins for yourself. Just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency so they may circulate it amongst their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Check out intercoin.org. Our listeners must know that Free Talk Live received $40,000 worth of tokens by Intercoin Inc. for advertising. So let's continue on as we do with your calls and your thoughts tonight. Calling in on our Discord on-air call-in live line, it's Ala Loca. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, so I got summoned to jury duty, surprisingly, for the first time.
When?
So, today. I mean,
When?
well, it's for the 28th, but I got the mail in today.
There's no way they're going to have that.
Wait, how many people are on a jury?
Oh,
12.
I don't know.
12. So that violates the 10-person gathering.
It does, and also they usually have over 100 come to the selection date. So she's not
Also
selected.
violates.
And-
She has not yet been selected for the jury. She's only been told to come to the jury selection.
Which they have 100 or more people in there because they're picking a lot of different juries in the same
Right, it's
session.
like American Idol, except different.
The thing is, most states, that's probably an automated letter sent out by a computer
Probably.
somewhere, and maybe somebody wasn't smart enough to turn it off. But I absolutely
Likely.
would not show up for that without calling the court first. And asking them if it's been canceled, because I suspect it has. But the other thing that I would do, I encourage people to always, even though it's given as an order, and even though I generally ignore most orders, I will always obey in order to appear for jury duty. And that's so I can vote not guilty if somebody has truly violated a law that should not exist.
Like drug
Well,
prohibition.
that's the plan.
Yeah. I hope you
That's what I'm
do.
trying to go for.
Well, that's called jury nullification for listeners that don't know what nobody is talking about there. That's your right as a jury or a juror to vote your conscience in a case. They will instruct you to say that you have to vote based on the law and the facts. But the reality is, if you think the law itself is bunk and you want to throw that law out, you can by voting not guilty, and you as one person can hang an entire jury and really ruin the state's day.
And thanks to the Free State Project, New Hampshire is the only state in the nation that explicitly recognizes that right in the law, although they use some really bizarre wording that's hard to understand.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court didn't really back that up.
No, that's not true. The Supreme Court didn't back the idea that the judge had to acknowledge it, but they didn't say that it wasn't true. They just didn't require the judge to do what we wanted him to do. And there's a law there's a bill, but definitely jury nullification is still on the table. And the things that I did win through using jury nullification, and I didn't think I'd win them. This is when I was on trial for selling weed, and I attempted a jury nullification defense, and I didn't win. But one of the things that that happened is there were questions asked where the prosecution objected, questions asked by my attorney where the prosecution objected because it was irrelevant. And it would have been irrelevant in any other state, but my attorney was able to say goes to nullification, which is another thing that makes evidence admissible. Okay, so it's a huge benefit. You can present evidence that the law is bad. Bring in an expert on addiction.
You mean in New Hampshire?
In New Hampshire,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, so,
you can try to do this anywhere, but you probably won't win.
So, Ala Loca, what's going on down there? You're in the Orlando area, right?
Yeah. Why? What specific do you want to know?
I don't know.
The
What's it like?
coronavirus?
Yeah, what's it like being down there? What kind of restrictions?
I work next to the airport, so all the airplanes, or the most that I can see, are down. It's kind of funny. Some days it's really, really busy on the streets. Orlando's really known to be crowded. So some days are really busy. Today was kind of dead. I don't know if it was because they passed another ordinance. Not really, but they were trying to encourage everyone to, if your job's really not essential, you need to stay home. So I don't know if more people took that to heart. Besides that, I mean, drive-thrus are still open, restaurants are still open, Wawa's still open. That's where I get my lunch. That's pretty much it.
Are the bars closed?
Yeah, that's been closed.
My liver always wants to ask that question, so.
No, but I mean, besides that, I mean, I haven't heard any crazy stories. I was able to shop at Walmart pretty normally. I don't think a lot of Orlando people care. We're kind of different down here.
Can you go to the movies?
I don't like going to the movies, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say tonight?
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you guys on advice on jury nullification, because I kind of have an idea. I know I have to pass some screening tests to see if they're going to pass me through. So I know I have to pretty much answer that as vanilla as possible.
Right.
Yeah. You have a legal obligation to tell them the truth, but you have no moral obligation to tell them the truth.
I just don't know how it looks like. I've never been in a courtroom for this sort of thing, so I don't know if someone can paint a picture for me, tell me what it looks like, what to expect, what would be the most successful thing for me to do to actually nullify.
I was in Florida prior to moving here, and I actually was called for a jury selection there prior to moving. So I've actually been through this process, although it was 15, 16, 17 years ago, however long it's been. They sit you in a room with like 100 plus 200 people. You are given a form that you have to fill out. I think it was like maybe a page or a page and a half or something like that, 2 pages. It's going to ask you about, it may ask you what like organizations of which you are a member, because they want to know the things that you're interested in, basically.
But you can resign from an organization and then you don't have to report it. You can rejoin the next day.
Yes, that's correct. So if there are any organizations like the Libertarian Party or something like that that might give them a clue as to what your beliefs are, you would want to resign from that organization in order to not commit perjury when filling out that form. And I presume it's, you can
maybe
turn her
join
down there.
Citizens for Law and Order also, which I just made up. And if you want to say you're a member, you can, because there's no list.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember. I know I don't know if I'm an active member of Campaign for Liberty. We've been disbanded for a while. I don't.
Well, if the organization's disbanded, you don't have to report it.
Well,
and if you
plus,
don't know you're a member, you don't have to say anything.
If you don't remember, then that's a legitimate answer to saying, you know, you don't remember something.
Yeah, everything has to be to the best of your knowledge or belief. So if you come up with any reason that you believe you're no longer a member of an organization, you're no longer a member of it. But it's best if they don't report you.
I want to make sure this thing comes out good. I really, if I get lucky and I find someone who's done a victimless crime, I really want to help them out. I don't know. It just feels the right thing to do.
It's definitely the right thing to do, and kudos to you for that, Ala Loca. Let us know what happens, will you?
Thank you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for the call tonight, Ala Loca.
I got one jury summons in my life, and I'm ashamed to say I was already a libertarian, but I wasn't hip to jury nullification, and I didn't think about the power of it, so I didn't show up. I feel bad.
You feel bad?
Yeah, I do feel bad.
Nobody feels bad.
I have not gotten a summons since moving to New Hampshire.
I suspect none of us will get summonses. I don't expect to see a jury duty summons for any co-host of Free Talk Live or any member of the Free State Project.
However, I have stood outside of the courthouse pretty much every month for the last decade plus, doing jury outreach to everyone coming into the jury.
Well, this is a good reason that you will never get a jury summons. I'm sure they manually deleted you if they hadn't done it automatically.
You are certainly doing yeoman's work, whatever that means. I don't even know what a yeoman is.
Yeoman is somebody who works hard.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know what it means, really.
Okay. Well, neither do I, but we're making stuff up here at Free Talk Live. You can call us and make stuff up, too.
Nobody tells the truth.
855-450-FREE. More coming up.
My dog, Mojo, was half beagle and half coonhound. He ate everything in sight. He would swallow things whole, including a chicken carcass, a bird nest with a bird in it, and assorted stones and sticks. We had to take him to the veterinary emergency room. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing on his feet, and chewing the hair right off of his legs, being irritated, lethargic, and just not the same dog.
DINOVITE.com.
When we put him on the Dinovite, he took right to it. All of these symptoms disappeared.
Dinovite is nutrition. If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Something that he actually likes to eat. You need to put him on Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
If you love your dog, you don't just want him healthy, you want him to be happy.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,638, silver at $14.13, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,349. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as New York deals with its worsening coronavirus outbreak in real time, terrified 911 operators find themselves having to make life or death decisions on a whim, on a daily basis. The Mind Unleashed reports that some patients are being left behind in their homes as the healthcare system becomes overwhelmed with calls relating to the virus. The 911 system that generally fields about 4,000 calls per day was swamped with over 7,000 calls last Thursday. It's a volume of calls that the city has not seen since September 11, 2001. The volume has put emergency medical personnel in the position of having to determine which cases should receive time-consuming medical measures like CPR, and which cases are too far gone. And many of the workers are doing it without the proper protection. Meanwhile, New York remains on a trajectory to pass Wuhan in terms of the severity of its outbreak, assuming you take China's numbers at face value. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. With the coronavirus pandemic causing an economic crisis for households across the nation, and April 1st rent payments coming due, the call for a temporary cancellation of rent has surged. The Mind Unleashed cites the example of Bowman Property Management, which manages properties in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Charlotte Observer obtained a copy of a letter the company sent to tenants noting the possible hardship during this season in the form of medical or financial that tenants may have experienced. But the letter said, quote, "We want to remind you that the terms of the lease are in effect in good times and bad, and our expectation is that rent will be paid on time with no questions asked," end quote. Renters can also expect to face late fees and possible eviction as consequences, according to the letter. Lawmakers passed a corporate-friendly economic stimulus package last week to help mitigate the economic impacts of the COVID-19 crisis, but renters could still be in dire straits. 3% of restaurants have already permanently closed due to the coronavirus crisis, according to research from the National Restaurant Association. 44% of operators have temporarily closed their restaurants, and 11% anticipate they will permanently close within 30 days. Activist Post reports restaurant sales dropped 47% across the United States from March 1st to March 22nd, and 54% of operators now offer off-premise services only, according to an NRA survey of more than 4,000 restaurant operators. 70% of restaurants surveyed have had to lay off employees and reduce workers' hours. And about half of restaurants expect further layoffs and hourly reductions in the next 30 days. More than 60% of restaurants have had to reduce their operating hours. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
I was doing my regular 11 o'clock security sweep around the perimeter of my house when I noticed a couple of young people having intercourse in the front seat of a car out in the street. So I ran inside and I grabbed my video camera. As you can imagine, I stood in those bushes for over 20 minutes watching these two degenerates grind against each other, and I'm thinking, this behavior is simply unacceptable. Now, if you think this is an isolated incident, you are dead to rights wrong. I have 36 hours of footage to prove it that I have personally collected from sickos just around my own town. For example, I saw perverts having sex in swimming pools clearly visible from the roofs of adjacent buildings, on boats that anybody could see with a telescope, at night on the beaches where they can easily be watched by anyone hiding behind a fence wearing their night vision goggles. It's simply disgusting.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Yes, you are in the right place for this Monday night edition of Free Talk Live, where you can call in and talk about whatever you like. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That is 855-450-3733. You can also find us on discord.lrn.fm and join our Discord server. And if you use our call-in line there, you can sound almost as if you're sitting right in the studio with us. Speaking of in the studio, tonight it's myself, the captain.
Nobody.
It's Ian.
And we've been taking your calls and your thoughts, and we'll get right back into that. But, Ian, you had an article tonight that I wanted you to mention.
Yeah.
Because
it's pretty outrageous.
Yeah, go ahead. I won't stop you.
You keep saying it gets dumber. I think it's just getting more insane and more tyrannical and terrifying. Howard, Indiana's Fox 59 reporting officials in Howard County are implementing further restrictions to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Okay, this has nothing to do with that. But anyway, the story is that on Friday, this last Friday, the Howard County Board of Commissioners passed a new ordinance ordering any stores that are still open, so, there's not that many stores that are open, the so-called essential stores or whatever are open, to place signs where non-essential items are, stating that they cannot be purchased. So
they're trying to reduce the flow of people and the amount of time they're there, it sounds like. That would be the public policy implication of that.
All businesses must have the new signs up no later than noon on Saturday, so that already passed. The board has deemed the following goods or departments as non-essential: jewelry,
that was my next question.
Furniture, home and lawn decor, toys or games, carpet, rugs, flooring, non-emergency appliances, music, books, magazines, craft and art supplies.
Anything that could help you pass the time and not go crazy while you're on house arrest for no crime at all.
That's right. Paint and entertainment electronics.
Oh, my God.
What? I wonder if that includes phones.
I wonder how much Amazon.com paid for that law, because they're going to make bank off it. People are going to be ordering everything off Amazon.
All non-essential businesses have already been shut down due to Governor Eric Holcomb's stay-at-home order, but these new restrictions go a step further in indicating residents would not be able to purchase any of the items the county considers non-essential. So
it's like a preview of socialism.
Right. It's just basically nationalizing these companies, essentially.
Yes.
I mean, that's basically all they've done, with the exception of they haven't actually taken over the books completely.
Right. This sounds like the 1980s era Soviet Russia.
Yeah.
All the tales that I used to hear as a kid growing up about, you can't buy this, you can't buy that. It's not allowed.
The only difference is their store shelves were empty. You'll get to look at the stuff you can't buy.
Yeah. It's insane.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
I mean, it's just one county, just to be clear, but maybe other counties will follow suit with this.
I mean,
nobody's going to do it while I'm in office.
It's been monkey see, monkey do as far as the politicians are concerned throughout this whole, we'll call it coronavirus thing, whatever that is.
Well, and they're justifying it here, as you suggested, Nobody. Your speculation was correct. According to a statement, Howard County has been receiving complaints from businesses about customers purchasing non-essential items and causing longer lines and more people in stores. So it's the businesses who are complaining? Really?
Wow.
Well, no, it's not. They want to make money. They're businesses. That's what they do.
But they're claiming that businesses were complaining about customers buying things in their stores.
I want to talk
Well,
more.
those companies should then have made the determination on their own to close off things that they considered non-essential to reduce their own flow, but let people who are willing to take the risk get paid for taking the risk.
Amen. I want to talk more about this in just a minute, but first I want to go to Mitchell calling from Memphis, Tennessee. Mitchell, you're on Free Talk Live.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Police state.
Yep.
Yeah, really.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
All right, let the man talk.
Okay.
All of this boils down. By the way, when you shut off the economy, I think the Depression, the Great Depression, I think I read somewhere it took 6 to 8 million lives. So, are we on that path?
Yeah.
The thing about it, this all boils down to what you're talking about, this police state and all these tactics. It seems it's like it goes back to the fact that they don't want to overwhelm the medical system, right?
That's what they
say.
say.
It seems like the medical system is it's an analogy. It's sort of like the medical system is like a high-rise hotel on the coast of Florida that can only handle a Category 1 hurricane. There's this huge question. Why is the medical system so fragile?
Because of the government's restrictions prohibiting new hospitals from being built, prohibiting new doctors from becoming doctors, because there's the AMA, which stands in the way and artificially restricts the supply of doctors. And those are just two things. There's also the FDA that stands in the way of life-saving medications from coming to marketplace in a quick and affordable manner.
Intellectual property is huge. All the drugs are patented. They get cheap when they're not.
What you're saying, Ian, it's a failure of government.
Yes.
I don't think enough people are saying it. It is forget the partisan politics. It's a failure of government. It's a violation, a total, utter breach in real time of the social contract.
Well, there's no social contract. That's
by the way,
BS.
what did all the statists tell us? That didn't they say that if you had a voluntary society, there would be chaos and mayhem? Well, how do you like your chaos and mayhem?
Yes. Yeah, people say, well, we can't do anarchy because warlords were taken over. I'm like, warlords have already taken over. That's what I'm trying to get rid of.
Like it?
They're constantly at war.
I don't
Nobody
like
knows
it.
what's going on.
Nobody
There's
likes
no such
it.
thing as absolute truth. You know, remember Jesse Ventura back in 2010?
Yep.
He was interviewed with Piers Morgan pushing a new book or something. And I think he said that he had quoted, like, I don't know what his source was. He said, like, on 16 million occasions, the people in power, their answer to a question was, can't tell you, top secret.
Right.
Yep.
Can't tell you, top secret.
They said that
National
at
security,
my.
top secret.
They said that at my trial when there's an FBI agent named Phil Cristiano, liar. He was
Cristiano liar.
Yeah.
Well,
he was asked whether. He was asked whether he tried to blackmail me into infiltrating the Keene Activist Center, and his answers included yes, no, maybe, and that's a matter of national security. All to the same question.
Yeah, nobody. So how in the world these people they're in love with their religious text, founding documents? Well, aren't you supposed to have an informed electorate? How do you have an informed electorate where in 2010, according to one source, 16 million times the people in power in government say can't tell you, top secret?
Yeah.
It's impossible to get
Well,
any
that's an
absolute
excellent
truth anywhere.
question. And you don't know who to vote against if you don't know who's doing what.
Yeah.
Right, and nobody, doesn't it say once again on that wonderful document, the Declaration of Independence, didn't it say, in a long train of abuses and usurpations pursued, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It said it is your duty
I'm sorry, Mitchell.
to abolish the government.
I'm sorry, Mitchell. I want to correct you. It's pronounced the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
See, there's no absolute truth. We don't
See,
know,
I
we don't
actually
know what it's
love
called.
that document because in the second paragraph.
Right, but it's just a declaration.
No way. In the second paragraph, it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, blah, 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 that that amongst these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these rights, it is your right as a people to alter or to abolish them. And so what they're saying, there's 4 rights enumerated there. Life, the right not to have your life taken from you. Liberty, the freedom to choose. The pursuit of happiness, to choose how you pursue happiness. And 4, to take down the government if it gets in the way of that. And all those rights are incorporated in the Constitution by the 9th Amendment.
Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, and by the way, for all the statists, are we there? Is it time?
It's so time.
Well, the statists are not going to tell you it's time.
Yeah, the statists.
And by the way, the last
it's the
thing I'll
statists
say,
who have to change their minds.
They're not going to do that
I'll
either.
leave it on this.
Some
don't
of them
even
do.
get me started
I
about
did.
life, liberty, and property. It was supposed to have the word property. They plagiarized John Locke, but that's another.
Some of them will know, buddy,
property.
but Andrew Cuomo now, one of the most statist, authoritarian governors in the United States, now enjoys about 89% approval rating. So good luck converting people at this time.
Well, this is not the best time. People bleat and panic in an emergency, but they get better.
855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Do you believe the Declaration of Independence is just a decoration?
Nobody
Give us a call.
believes.
Let us know. More coming up.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McElvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Mojo would swallow things whole. A chicken carcass, a bird nest, and assorted stones and sticks. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing the hair right off of his legs.
DINOVITE.com.
On the Dinovite, all of these symptoms disappeared.
Dinovite is nutrition.
If you love your dog, you need to put him on Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live.
I wouldn't snitch them out. I would report them to the police.
Right.
Okay, now
call it what you want,
now,
sir.
many states have laws about carrying firearms, even though their constitutions say that it's legal for everyone to own a firearm.
Like New York State.
There's no way to ban it. Would you snitch out somebody that you knew had a firearm?
If they had it illegally, I wouldn't snitch them out. I would report them.
Right.
I got to say, you're a bad American, Ken.
Yeah, I think you're a scumbag, Ken.
You're a communist.
I'm
You're a communist.
I'm a communist because I want people to be able to carry guns like the Second Amendment says.
He'd snitch on the person, and then the cops would come and infringe it for him.
Felons out there carrying guns at will.
I'm a convicted felon. Do you think I shouldn't be able to protect my wife from an intruder?
I don't think you should have a gun.
How am I going to protect myself if the guy has a gun?
There are many other ways to protect yourself than not having a gun.
You should call the cops, Mark, like any good citizen.
That way the cops can come clean up my corpse after it's all over, right?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Yes, this is Free Talk Live. Yeehaw! Yeehaw, indeed. Yes, it's the Southern edition. Yeehaw! I'm just kidding. It's not the
All
Southern
right.
edition.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
It is Free Talk Live,
I'll tell you
however.
what.
I'll tell you what. Damn it, Bobby. Yes,
This is my purse. I don't know you.
Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That is 855-450-3733. Call in and talk about whatever you want to. You can also get us at discord.lrn.fm. Join our Discord server. And if you use our call-in line over there, you can sound almost as if you're here in the studio with us tonight. And in the studio with us tonight, it's...
Nobody.
It's Ian.
And I am the captain. Did you finish up your bit about the...
Yeah, I mean, the news, we got the news out
okay.
that there's an Indiana county that is now banning the sale of so-called non-essential items, so you cannot go into Walmart and buy a video game or a board game or something else to do to pass the time because they've determined that those things are non-essential. You should only be buying food and water and, whatever other so-called essential items there are. So
and medicine, so you can kill yourself with your opioids.
So I just want to kind of run down, right? So we've got, we know National Guard troops are being deployed in several states for many different things.
Going door to door in Rhode Island.
And including
for
here
people.
in Keene, the National Guard is here doing something at the university. We don't really know.
And of course, shooting a cop in self-defense is also a great way to commit suicide.
Yeah, and they said the National Guard were on a purely medical mission because, when I'm feeling sick and need some medical care, first thing I think of is the National Guard.
No,
I don't. So I don't know why the National Guard's on a medical mission, but they are. Let's see what else we have.
They're going to shoot the virus.
Businesses are being told what they can and cannot sell when they
not only are they being told what they
open.
can't. Right, businesses that was started by saying businesses couldn't open at all.
Right.
Certain businesses. Now the ones that are open are being told what they can and can't sell.
Right. We've got
and you're also being told what you can and can't say. And this is something that just started over the weekend. It happened to us. We lost a radio station this weekend because we're not towing the government line on what to do about coronavirus or whatever.
I expected that to happen.
Yes.
I'm surprised it's taken this long.
We lost one station. Well, it's because I sent out an industry newsletter to over 600 industry people, and one of them was one of our stations in Wisconsin that decided to pull us. And I read the actual email last night on the air, so I'm not going to rehash that. But it's not just happening to us. Now Twitter has taken down tweets by the president of Brazil. Oh my God. This guy Bolsonaro. I don't know if you've heard of this guy.
And this is a gross violation of the right of the people of Brazil to know what their president is saying, be it good, bad, or indifferent. I'm sorry, taking down that is so anti-democratic that it horrifies me, and I don't even like democracy.
Well, here's the report from the AFP out of Sao Paulo. 2 tweets by Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro in which he questioned quarantine measures aimed at containing the novel coronavirus were removed by Twitter on Sunday on the grounds that they violated the social network's rules. The so-called far-right leader had posted several videos in which he flouted his government's official social distancing guidelines by mixing with supporters on the streets of Brasilia and urging them to keep the economy going. So this guy's breaking the mold as far as most politicians. He's like looking down at this virus. He's called it the little flu.
Right.
He's acting like it's it's not a big deal. And I happen to agree with
I
him
have heard him
about
a guy saying that quote. It must be him, I assume.
Yep. And so 2 of his posts were taken down and replaced with a notice by Twitter explaining why they had been taken down. Twitter's explanation in a statement that it had explained in a statement recently saying that they'd expanded their global rules on managing content that contradicts public health information from official sources and could put people at greater risk of transmitting COVID-19. Translation: if you're not following the official line, even though this guy is a government guy, if you're not following what Twitter believes is the best public so-called advice, rules to follow, you will be censored from their platform.
I saw a television
I
commercial.
want to sue them.
You can't. It's private property.
I saw a television commercial that was, it reminded me of the old see something, say something TV commercials, but this one was for, stay safe, stay at home. Right? Like they're literally producing television commercials, programming you to toe this line. And then now, apparently, when you don't toe it, you're being censored.
You're going to be censored. And this is all part of the whole quarantine shaming thing that's been going on. It's just the next extension of that. And who knows how much worse this is going to get from here. Bolsonaro, in one of the deleted videos, told a street vendor, quote, what I have been hearing from people is they want to work. What I've been hearing I've said from the beginning, he said, is that we're going to be careful. The over 65 stay at home, he said. We can't just stand still. There's fear because if you don't die of the disease, you starve. The vendor is seen telling Bolsonaro, who responds, you're not going to die. In another video, the president calls for a, quote, return to normality, unquote, questioning quarantine measures imposed by governors and some mayors across the giant South American country as an effective containment measure against the virus. He said, quote, if it continues like this with the amount of unemployment, what we will have later is a very serious problem that will take years to get resolved. And
I salute the guy for recognizing that. I salute him. I don't like all of his policies. I think he's got some bad things going, but
of course,
I salute him for that.
He says Brazil.
Nobody's a politician.
He says Brazil cannot stop or will turn into Venezuela, he told reporters outside of his official residence. And those are what they took down. They took those videos down.
It's the Venezuelization of the world is what this plague is going to be. It would be better to get sick than to live for decades in abject poverty.
I agree.
So guys, knowing that we bring this content to our listeners, we do that in many different ways or many different stations, but we have certain people to thank, and I just want to take a minute to thank Mal Esclavo for being a gold amplifier. Mal participates in our Advertise, Market, and Promote program by making a donation that goes to help us advertise, market, and promote this show and get us on more radio stations so more people can get this content. So if you are a listener and you partake of our content, we ask you kindly to go to amp.freetalklive.com and consider amplifying this program to help us get on more stations, because as far as we can tell, we are the only radio program talking about this type of content. And
this perspective, at
from
least.
this perspective, from a freedom perspective.
Because everyone's talking about coronavirus.
Yeah.
They're just all saying, do what you're told.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy the content that we're bringing you, please consider visiting amp.freetalklive.com.
He said further, quote, some people want me to shut up, follow the protocols. He says, how many times does the doctor not follow the protocol? Let's face the virus with reality. It is life. We must all die one day.
I mean, that
Yep.
pretty much says it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Would you prefer the Brazilian politicians' version of
I don't
things?
want any politicians, but this guy's right on this one.
He does have some good points. We'll take more of your calls and your thoughts coming up. This is Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
There once was a man from Nantucket, and he called into Free Talk Live at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. However, he didn't get to talk very long because he had a potty mouth. So.
Who doesn't these days?
Who doesn't?
Nobody does.
Nobody has a potty mouth these days.
Nobody has a potty mouth these days.
Interesting. With you tonight, it's myself, the captain. I'm joined by...
Nobody.
Yeah, it's Ian.
And we are here to
What's
take
Ian?
your... I'm sorry, what?
I said, what's Ian?
Well, who's on first?
He said, it's Ian.
Nobody's at home? What?
Nobody's home. Nice house,
Nobody's
no lights.
home. We are here to take your calls and your thoughts and talk about whatever you want if you give us a call. And we'll do that again in just a minute. But first, I want to tell you that Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. Do you want the newest and freshest stories and perspective on current events from those who value liberty? Well, freedomsphoenix.com has it. Their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com, freedomsphoenix.com. Well, I guess we'll do what we do here, and we'll go to your calls and your thoughts. We have John from Sarasota, Florida.
Hey, I've been there.
Listening on 96.3.
What?
John, what's on your mind?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
We're on the
I'm a
air in
bartender.
Sarasota?
Well, I'm driving from Georgia back home, so I'm somewhere between the two.
Oh, okay. You're from... Okay.
Gotcha.
But he's listening.
Yeah,
on
but I live in
96.3.
Sarasota. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm a bartender down there, and I kind of have a statement and a question for you guys.
Cool. Okay, go ahead.
Kind of piggybacking on what you were just saying about the Brazilian president. I don't know one of my coworkers that doesn't want to work right now. They all do. And
I've known
something
some. I've known some pretty lazy bartenders in my life, but yeah, you're right. They all want to work right now.
Yeah, they do. I'm one of the minorities who saved my money. My property's paid off, so I don't mind a little break. But the whole thing being mandated doesn't sit pretty with me. And my question is regarding the stimulus bill, which I'm not in favor of because I don't believe in adding to the debt or devaluing our money any more than they already have. But
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have seen the unemployment provision of that, but the feds are going to add $600 on top of the state unemployment benefits. So there's going to be a good majority of people making more to sit home, and they're doing that for 4 months. So my question is, do you think they put that in the bill purposely to keep the unemployment numbers high going into the election?
Well,
I
the
know
thing is,
Democrats kind of put that in there.
That's an interesting.
it won't
prospect.
affect the official unemployment numbers, or it won't raise them. And the reason is because the way they calculate those numbers is they call like 50,000 people, and they ask them first if they have a job, which is yes or no, and the second is if they're looking for a job. Okay.
Right.
And if they have a job or they're not well, actually they ask them if they're looking for a job. Okay. So if they're not without a job and looking for a job, then they are not unemployed,
Right, they don't count
according
them.
to the numbers. And so when people give up looking for work, they're called discouraged workers, and they're not considered unemployed by the official unemployment numbers.
Well, right. All these workers that are on
Right.
furlough right now are not unemployed either, even
Right.
though they don't have any hours.
Right. They have jobs. It's just every time they go there, nobody will let them do them.
Yeah, that's why I never believed the unemployment numbers that the government tells us, because they never, the labor participation forces never really calculated into that. And then also recently, there's been a lot more imprisonment, so a lot of the low-end people who were stopped looking for jobs are in prison now. So,
Although
there's
labor
a
rate
combination of
labor rate participation figures also have a problem. And the problem with labor rate participation figures is that people who invest are not considered to be participating in the workforce, but they're some of the most important participants in the workforce. And people who are retired are counted the same as people who are not starving to death, because people don't here, but people who are doing badly because they don't have a job. So you really have to look at both numbers, and you have to look at the news, and you have to draw your own conclusions as to what they mean.
Sure. So I guess my basic question is, do you think that they put that in the bill to make us more dependent on government, because I know people that aren't going to go to work 40 hours a week to make $50 more than they would sitting at home and doing nothing. So
It's possible this whole virus is a psyop to make us depend on government. How many times have you heard the death of capitalism announced over this thing, which is exactly what the government wants? That's what the elites want.
It feels like it. I can agree with you on that, John. It feels like it. I don't have any evidence to suggest that it's on purpose, but I mean,
the response is on purpose.
Yeah, that's for certain. They're certainly taking advantage of the situation, as only politicians can do.
Right, and they're also planning next week or the week after drafting up another stimulus package. So
of course they are.
Yeah. So
it's just the beginning.
Not all of us are lazy. Some people want to work and want the government not involved in our lives, and I'm one of them. So.
I'm with you.
That's great, John. Thanks for the call tonight. We appreciate it.
Keep in mind that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and the value of the whole sum of dollars in the world seems to be pretty much a constant. And when they print more dollars, they are cutting that. They're making every other dollar in the world worth less compared to real goods. So my advice is every dollar you get from the government, or you can borrow from a bank, you spend on anything that isn't a dollar and anything that isn't denominated in dollars, and you will be able to sell that stuff again someday for a lot more dollars than you paid for it.
You mean like precious metals, cryptocurrency, real estate, things like that?
Even microwaves. Engineers aren't essential personnel developing new microwaves. They're going to be staying home, so your microwaves will probably retain their value a lot better than they normally would. But yes, primarily gold, silver, precious metals, cryptocurrency, bullets and a gun if you don't have one, because it's going to get ugly out there.
Hey, I learned some trivia today. Not today, but recently. Do you know why in the bars they call it a shot of whiskey or a shot of alcohol?
Yes,
this goes back to the Old West, right?
It does, because
in the Old West, you could trade one bullet for a shot of alcohol.
Yeah.
And that was a standard .45 caliber slug that literally everybody used.
Yeah, I've been drinking for, I don't know, a really long time. I'm
Doesn't
48,
measure up today, though, because bullets are they're manufactured more so than ever. They've been more efficient. One bullet doesn't cost the price of a shot, I don't think.
Well, it depends on the bullet. You could pay $1.50 for a really high quality exploding bullet, or So yeah, I mean, what they were trading was the best there was in their day.
I see.
And so we'd want to be pricing it according to the best bullet available at our day.
I don't know where you're drinking it, but shots, well, at least in the West Coast, were $8, $9, $10.
It ain't gonna be that at Thirsty Owl, man.
You've got a good point. I don't drink at bars, but I don't drink much.
Of course, we can't go drink at the bars because the government.
The
forced
legal
them all to
drug
close,
is the worst one.
Yep. But I would venture to guess that, if there were like a speakeasy situation,
actually,
and you wanted to, trade a round of ammunition that, the barkeep could use, that they'd pour one for you.
They're already starting up in New York. I've got a story about speakeasies.
Oh, dude.
Really?
Yep.
Now that would be a great business for the church to enter into because it's debatably legal.
Well, if it's part of your worship, absolutely.
Exactly.
I could tell you about it, but I know we got some other calls we could do here in just a moment. But not only are speakeasies popping up, but also what they're calling Corona potlucks, where people are encouraged to bring some food and, quote, don't wash your hands, bring your favorite dish.
Wow. There's something to be said for getting it right now and getting it over with. If you're willing to bet your life, you won't need a hospital.
Could we get it served up by mud wrestlers?
Depends. Do you know any?
No, I don't. Do I know any mud wrestlers out there?
For the right price, you might.
Come wrestle in May.
855 450 free like freedom.
Wait,
give us a call.
I don't know what I said.
If you want to wrestle in the mud.
With more people listening to radio than visit Google, Facebook, or YouTube, from the very young to the very old, everyone listens to radio. Pillow companies, alarm, identity theft, nutrition, insurance, banking, automotive. The list goes on and on. Billion-dollar businesses. Why? The answer is radio. The media everyone tunes into. Find out how effective and affordable radio can be for your business. Contact 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com.
Attention all radio listeners who still need food supplies. If you've thought about the implication of food-related supply chain disruptions and are concerned about the coming quarantines, this will be the most important message you will ever hear. Here's why. In the next few days, all Americans will face extremely hard choices. If we've learned anything from China and Italy, it's that quarantines and enforced lockdowns are just a few days away here in the U.S. Listen, while dehydrated food is becoming scarce, you can still get enough open pollinated heirloom seeds to grow a 1-acre crisis garden. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables in the days ahead may actually be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand the nature of the threat. This could be life-saving. Lockdowns can last from 6 to 8 weeks. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring Simon to the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Holy crap.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Congratulations, you are listening to the Monday Night Live edition of Free Talk Live, the live call-in radio talk show where you can take control of the airwaves and talk about, well, whatever you want. Our toll-free number here, of course, is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, like freedom, which is the perspective we generally talk about things from. At least I do. Most of the other hosts do as well. But, of course, you can talk about whatever you like. And with you tonight, it's myself, the captain.
Nobody.
And Ian.
And you can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June 29th until July 5th for ForkFest 2020. This will be held at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. ForkFest happens the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and ForkFest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge. That also means there's no ticket cost. I believe it means, unless the campground shuts down, it also means it can't be canceled. So just reserve your camping, RV site, or motel room with Rogers Campground for June 29th until July 5th. Where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You can simply relax and go camping with other liberty lovers, or you can create whatever experience or event you'd like others to have. If you're planning an event for ForkFest, be sure to let others know in advance. You can connect with other ForkFesters via the unofficial Telegram chat or the ForkFest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. That's forkfest.party. I hope to see you there. Well, actually, you had a thing. No? Okay, all right. Going right back into your calls and your thoughts, we've got Bobby calling from Dunbar, West Virginia, listening on WVTS. Bobby, you're on Free Talk Live.
Well, thank you. I want to make a point here. 300,000 people every year die from smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
51,000 people die from driving cars. They get the car wrecks.
Mm-hmm.
We had, Ebola, bird virus.
Mm-hmm. SARS, MRSA.
Yeah, you
swine
name it.
flu.
From 14,000 to 60,000 people died from those viruses. Now, what we have here is, I call it the panic du jour, so they can implement their tyranny. And that's what they're doing with this latest virus.
I call it panic poupon because they're pooping on your freedom.
That's a good one. 1.1 million babies are put to death every year through abortion. And they decided to choose this one, which is arbitrary. We don't know how many people. 3,000 people have passed away so far.
You mean in the United States?
In the United States, yes, sir.
And last year, 30,000 died from the flu.
Right. Isn't that amazing? So they can pick and choose their panic, and they can take away your right to life, liberty, and property in the pursuit of happiness and so forth.
People appear to want this. I mean,
they're
again,
clamoring for it.
Cuomo now with nearly 90% approval. Even the Republicans are on board with over 70% approving of this guy in New York.
Yeah. You know, some people always are amazed at how the tyranny of like the German Nazi Germany came about, and like why people would ever find themselves sort of clamoring for that type of a crackdown. It's because, and I'm paraphrasing here, the endless series of hobgoblins to keep you instilled with fear at all times, and it completely makes people want to have this sort of treatment from the organization known as government, and we're seeing it now.
It's quite possible that what we've been seeing ever since the end of World War II, which has been a dramatic ramping up of tyranny across the board over and over again, it's quite possible that this is all the fruit of Operation Paperclip. Do you know what Operation Paperclip was?
No, sir, I do not. But I know that unalienable rights seem to have lost their grip on these politicians.
You're absolutely right.
Well, and more importantly,
nobody cares about your rights.
More importantly, the people have forgotten or don't know what inalienable means when it comes to rights, or what rights are.
Well, apparently they've been aliened.
Yeah,
going door to door on Rhode Island right now.
Yeah, they're hunting Texans, I believe. I don't know if they had
They're
to get
hunting everybody. You're not allowed to go to Rhode Island, basically.
Did they have to get a special license to do that hunting?
Wow.
Like, is it New Yorker season?
There is that old quote from the Star Wars movies, "So this is how liberty dies, to thunderous applause."
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, dying right now as we're watching this whole thing come down. I can't see the big panic here. I don't understand. Only 3,000 people have passed so far. It pales compared to everything else.
It's a
Crazy.
panic
And nobody
because-
seems to be sick. I've got 5,000 Facebook friends, and very few of them are telling me that they know anybody who is sick. And the things you should be hearing during an epidemic of a deadly disease, you should be hearing about people getting sick. You should be hearing he got sick. Oh, he got sick. Oh, he got sick. And it won't be all the truth,
Brad
all
got
the
sick
all
too?
the truth, but you're gonna hear it all the time.
Right. You mean
and
Diane
this
got
disease has
sick?
been
Yeah.
here for a long time because people from Wuhan traveled to the United States long before we knew there was a virus.
There's a guy named David Mamet. He's a playwright, and he wrote, "It is frightful how easy it is to create a mob just by having the right words." And he's
Right.
absolutely correct.
Well, yeah, and anyone who's studied mobs knows that there's no intelligence to them, right? They do some really stupid stuff and can be easily
Yeah.
led.
And my knowledge of epidemiology isn't good, but if you assume that that there was one carrier in China, and then at some later point, multiple times, other carriers appeared in the United States at the same time, our plague should be as advanced as their plague is. You know?
I would think so, but I think there's a stifling of the information.
Yeah, I think so too. And they did too. They lied through their teeth about this plague for a long time, which is what makes me think it's genetically engineered. Because
Gentlemen,
if you
put in
just get
jail.
sick, you don't try to hide it.
I'm sorry, what's that,
Right.
Bobby?
Wuhan is the seat of the germ warfare labs for the People's Army.
Right.
Isn't that convenient?
Nothing to see here. Go home.
Move it along.
All right, final thoughts, Bobby?
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids.
These were the
Thanks.
droids I was looking for.
Thanks for the call tonight, Bobby. Yeah, those are not the droids I was looking for. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah. Well, any government who thinks that the government's going to turn nobody into a robot, nobody is not the droid they're looking for.
Let's go right to David in New Mexico. David, what's this about a drunk sheriff?
Yeah, being quick. And first of all, the best reading along, which is actually pretty good, Santa Fe, NewMexican.com, Rio Arriba County Sheriff accused of being drunk at standoff.
Huh.
And
what do you do with a drunken sheriff?
Early in the morning.
So, and first of all, this guy is probably also standing up for our gun rights, but notwithstanding that,
he might be
what
staggering.
happened-
Don't
Yeah, right.
drink and
So
shoot
anyway,
a gun at the
this-
same time. Come on. All sheriffs know that one,
Right.
right?
This is in northern New
Hunters drink and
Mexico,
shoot all
where
the time.
if you remember, where the senator, chairman of the Judicial Committee, was also drunk and had an accident. That's where that happened. And prior to this guy, there's Tommy Rodella was a sheriff before this guy, who's in prison, federal prison for 10 years because he pulled a gun on a motorist in a road rage incident. So anyway. But this guy apparently, if you read the article, was showing up to the scene where a friend of his was barricaded in a standoff with city police and state police.
Okay.
And
The sheriff's friend was the one barricading himself?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what the city and state police are accusing the drunk sheriff of doing is coming to the scene to distract the guys that were the SWAT team, so that his friend could get away. And then the drunk sheriff also was showing them text messages that were supposedly coming from the barricaded friend, saying that he was no longer at the barricaded house and that they could leave. And then later he was found. Later they arrested him in the barricaded house that the drunk sheriff said he was not in.
Listen, Ossifers.
Drunk sheriffs on Free Talk Live this evening. That's, just when we think we've heard it all, we get to hear about drunk sheriffs.
They love their alcohol.
Right. So
Those
welcome to New Mexico.
Yeah, thank you for the call tonight, David.
Have a drink, beat your wife. There you go.
Yeah, I guess if you're wearing the shiny badge,
The sheriff thing to do.
You can just do whatever you want without any recourse or repercussions. It just seems to be the way that it is.
Yeah. Well, if he's pro-gun rights, I'll forgive him being drunk.
Well, that's our show for this evening. Thanks, everybody. Tune in tomorrow night, freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become